Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Talk Williams. I don't know why it's telling me to do that. I want to stream horizontally. Why is it telling me to do that? Alien picture now. Oh. Anyway, guys, what's up? It's your boy Talk Williams, host and creator Hip Hop 50th afternoon, late in the afternoon, really. To everybody on this wonderful Sunday, September the 28th. Yeah, September the 28th. I am actually going to have some personal moments with somebody, but other than that, as you can see in the description of this live, the homicide investigation of Celeste RIVAS, who's a 15-year-old now that was found dismembered, as they say, in the trunk, which would be the front of a Tesla car belonging to singer, R&B singer, rap artist, whoever, some dude named David. This guy, David, is really a kid himself. He's 20 or 21 years old. And sometime in August and early September, some Tesla or vehicle of his, $104,000. They say the vehicle cost $104,000. So he has a Tesla that was abandoned. It received several tickets. It was sitting out on the street, maybe they say 100 feet to 200 feet away from his condo or mansion or whatever it was. He was paying $20,000 a month to stay in. $20,000 a month residence. That's where he was at. And unfortunately and horribly, I wish I had some more bleeds, BLYs at the end. The just tragic, thrown away like trash, stuffed in a car, left for dead, inside of a Tesla. It's 15-year-old Celeste RIVAS. From all accounts up to this point, she was dating the guy. She's dating this guy named David. All the reports, whether it's from TMZ, News Nation, CBS, MSNBC, the chat on the internet, the new media, whoever it is, all reports say that they had an intimate relationship, and it has been going on for quite some time. Quite some time being relative. I don't know if that means a year, 18 months, or 2 years. The point being, they've done TikToks together. They live streamed together. They've been at concerts together. They have similar tattoos on their fingers. All of this stuff. Like according to anybody with any level of credibility or knowledge about their relationship, it's been said that they were a couple. Now, this girl, Celeste RIVAS, they say, was a problem child. And when I say problem child, maybe I'm using it out of context, but I don't mean she is the problem, but she was a problem child. A problem child being one who's still a child and having issues at home, maybe issues with herself, maybe issues with family members. However it go, she has a track record of running away, disappear, different things like that. Okay. We all probably know kids in our neighborhoods that we grew up with. I call myself running away a couple times, only ran around the corner or at a friend's house. I never left the state or left the city or anything like that. I never aboded or made myself available to complete strangers and none of that stuff. When I call myself having the version of running away or whatever like that. But it's just totally different, I think, now in the world that we live in because of social media, because of how quick things can happen and how all of a sudden strangers and people that mean you ill harm, people that will do something torturous to you, can close the gap and get in your space. I don't think that this was the situation initially with him and her, because it doesn't take this long, drawn-out relationship and long being relative. Long in people under 20, people under 22, is 3 weeks. That's long to them. Anybody 35, you old to them. So that's why I say it's all relative. But the point being, individuals, young people, especially females, because when you think about a female, I get it. They're 15, they're 12, and they think they men. I get all that. I understand. All you gotta do is punch them in their fucking stomach. They fold up like the woman that they fold up just like the girl they was born. They fold up just like a female would, you know. But whatever their lifestyle is, that's besides the point. Whatever they think they is, that's besides the point. The reality of it is this. A 12, 13, 15-year-old female, they don't even have a defense against anyone, a male, basically. So, in his most basic form, however she might have been attacked, was she drugged, was she pregnant and nobody wanted that exposed, was she, whatever it was, it's just strange that they put her in his car, or he put her in his car, or they put her in his car and just left the car abandoned. Here's the strange part for me. We got a 20-year-old, 21-year-old, $104,000 Tesla, a girl that's in your space, and you're not looking for her or the car, and the car parked right around the corner. The car got 3 tickets and then was told to impound, and then the smell or whatever they call the police. Now, I'll say this, and a lot of us know this from growing up. That's why it's not as simple and it's not as makes sense as someone to, you know, here's the humorous part, and no humor in her case, but the humorous part about the way that a lot of adults think. A lot of adults, they talk like this. They talk like the wisdom that they have now, the common sense and the intelligence, and what's dumb and what's stupid and what wouldn't make sense today for them. Because they asked and lived, and they asked and survived, and they done got past certain stages of whatever, right? They talked as if other things cannot happen because it no longer makes sense to them. It's the ignorant shit you can hear. Talk to somebody that's done lived. It sounds crazy to younger people. When people who have survived their own traumas, their own challenges, their own whatever they went through in life, they talk now as if my shit don't stink, and I'm the most intelligent person, and it don't make sense that you would do that. Nah, man. You fucking dumb as you was when you 20 when you talk like that. And you sound that way. See? A 20-year-old can run, a 15-year-old, a 12-year-old young girl, she running away. They say she presents herself as a 19, 20-year-old going to UCLA in college. Why? Because this guy, David, if he's 5 years older than her now, he was always 5 years older than her. So when she was 15, what she is now, he's 20. When she was 13, he's 18. So when they talk to the friends, they say, oh, she presents herself as a 19-year-old in college or whatever. And we know that his close friends probably knew this girl was 12, knew she was 13, knew she was 14. And they just moving her through around in the spaces. Here's another dynamic about runaway relationships, probably in the entertainment world, probably for young people. A lot of times, these young girls that run away, if they fortunate, yeah, they be in a committed relationship with somebody, if they fortunate. But many times, they get passed around. Not necessarily because they're being abused or raped, But in their microcosm, in their little ecosystem, in their little world right then and there, you still have periods of breakups or we mad at each other or whatever. And they're young. They kids. Their minds ain't developed. That's why I say to adults, all you got to do is listen to adults, man. Adults is crazy because they talk like they always knew what they knew or know now. And that there's never any other possibility that someone would do different. Just listen to adults. They crazy as shit. So what happens is she might have was seeing somebody else for a while staying there and still around this guy David. That's why there's so many dynamics involved. They say other people had access to the Tesla, which means that while he's out touring or locally touring or doing what he's doing, he probably let other people drive the car. Now, technology-wise, we know that Tesla is probably the highest tracked car in terms of any movement anywhere. It's probably all logged. So that means, you know, the subpoenas, the warrants, the records, they all surface up what's going on. Some people say, well, don't the Teslas got cameras? Yeah, but that doesn't mean his Tesla had them. That doesn't mean the people using them didn't know how to disable them. That doesn't mean that the default operation of the camera. See, there's several things. That's why when you hear people talking, they sound like they don't even think about other options. But here's the one that catches my attention. Here's the one, right? And I'm just saying, you got a 20-year-old that's not looking for his girl. Or maybe she was no longer his girl. Maybe he said, you know what? We ain't together no more, but we cool. I'm going to let you stay here. You can still stay here. But we don't really fuck with each other like that no more. Why? Because you sleeping with this nigga and this nigga and this dude and this girl. She might have liked women. You know, now they fuck with squirrels. They, you know, yeah, they'll mess with a possum and tell you, today I'm a possum. I love possums. So however it go, the lifestyle, right? So he didn't necessarily have to put her out because they wasn't together. He could have been like, look, shorty, we cool. I know what your situation is, but I don't rock with you like that. You still around. Or maybe some of his homies did something to the girl, partied, it went too far, and they decided we just gonna hide the body. You know, all of this thinking, whatever went into it, right? And we're gonna hide the body in a car and tie it back to David. Maybe that was the plan. You know, make David seem like he the guilty one. I don't know. Maybe David is the guilty one. We don't know. They investigate. But I tell you, one sign that they closing in, or they have the patience, or they're not in a rush, or they feel good about the investigation, a sign of that is they not asking for the public's help. See, when the police, when law enforcement not on TV asking for the public's help, who's seen her on this date around this time, that means either they're getting all the cooperation they need, they're able to find out whatever they're looking for, or whatever the case is like that. All of those things, like a whole gang of that stuff. It hurts me though, because I know it happens. It's not like it don't happen. But we just live in the world where they can just damn near show you step for step, video for video. They showing this girl and she's left for dead or killed. And they said at some point she weighed 140 pounds. And now the autopsy or whatever they doing, when they found her, they said she weighed like 70 pounds. It's sad no matter how you look at it. This guy, David, you're not going to call this girl parents. You're not going to say nothing to their family. That's the flag. But maybe he didn't mess with the family. Why? Because the family might have been, look, you 5 years older than her. See, we don't know what the relationship was, but the family, or at least it's been made public, that the family was aware that she was messing with David. But I tell you, these runaways, these young women, these runaways, they, like I said, they do get passed around, they can, but sometimes it's not all about them getting passed around. Sometimes it's because they just break off in the relationship that they was initially in. Yeah, it's crazy. It sounds, I know, to grown people like me and grown people like y'all, we have the mantle of what doesn't make sense, and that wouldn't make sense. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? I understand, because we figured some things out. We understand some things. I understand that. But when somebody say, well, that don't make sense, why would they do that? I'll give you one. You ready? Why in Chicago, somebody want to get somebody, want to end their life, they wait till the person pull up at a gas station where there's 6 cameras, bright lights, and witnesses. All right, you want to make sense? If we want to talk about what don't make sense, that wouldn't happen, because that wouldn't make sense. Here go one, all day long in Chicago. They're going to pull up and get you at a gas station when the lights are bright and there's 6 cameras, and they just got to have witnesses there. We got to have witnesses, cameras, and lights. Do that make sense? It don't make sense, do it? Because you're not in the mind of the 19 to 25-year-old, or whatever that age range is, and you're not in the mind of somebody who's not planning for retirement. They're not planning to work at corporate America like you eventually was able to do. They're not planning to make sense of life like we was eventually able to do. And that's why I say to adults are amazing to me, because they act as if I was always this bright, I was always this smart, I was always making good. Get the fuck out of here with that dumbass shit. First of all, I don't believe it. The second thing is, when you tell it to these young adults, they might respect you with their responses, but you disconnect from them. The reason why you disconnect from them is because they know you lying. You just popped out with all this goddamn wisdom, and you ain't been through shit. If you ain't been through nothing, and you just always had it, you shouldn't be talking to them young adults. How are you going to help them? And you can't even be in touch with their reality, whether it's their level of thinking, their bad choice making, or just not having any sensibilities about next year or the following year, and only concerned about this hour and tonight. That's why a lot of these young adults commit a lot of these crimes they do. You be thinking, why would he do that? Didn't he know they was gonna catch him? Man, the man trying to eat dinner tonight. He trying to buy his kids something for a birthday, because her birthday tomorrow. The man ain't planning for next year, 5 years from now. The man don't have a 3 to 5 to 7, 10-year plan. That's that shit y'all do. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You should be able to do that. And if you was fortunate and you're able to do that, that's even better. That's not the situation for a lot of these kids in urban America. It's just not. So when you sit up there pontificating like you're the one sent, because your shit don't stink and your piss don't turn yellow when it hits a white piece of fabric, the fabric don't turn yellow. Yeah, and you wonder why they can't hear you. It's still sad though. is sad. Think about it. Her family knew who she was hanging out with. Her family knew she had ran away. They said the police went and got her, brought her back. She popped back up in school and she ran away again. I seen it growing up. It's nothing new. Some people said, oh, the family should go to jail. Now the family should go to jail. Oh, her parents failed her. Now her parents failed her. The thing that I will agree about, I will agree that if there was a pie, you know, a pie like you eat, P-I-E, and the name of that pie wasn't apple, it wasn't peach cobbler, it wasn't lemon meringue, I'm just naming my top 3. But the name of it was of accountability. I think that there's probably some level of accountability to be issued out in slices for everybody. The parents, the school system, probably her siblings, some friends, this guy David, law enforcement, everybody, even me on social media talking about it, everybody, when it comes to accountability. That's real, and it's tangible, it's empirical, and based on how you want to measure it up, we can issue the slice of pie accordingly. But at the same time, multiple things can be true at the same time. That's the thing you have to be mindful of. She could have her reasons why she had to run away. Could it be because she was just a badass kid that was defiant and rebellious and pushed back? Could it be that she was abused in the house? Could it be that her mother or her father or her siblings, could it be that she was molested under the house? Could it be something like that? It could be any number of reasons why these kids decide to bounce out and they go. It could be any number of reasons. And they go. Some of it is, like for me, I was just a badass child. Yeah. My father wasn't molesting me and my mother wasn't torturing me. I was bad as shit. I was bad. And I knew I was bad. I wasn't even mad at my parents. You never catch me mad at my parents. Because I knew I was bad. I knew right from wrong. I knew what I wasn't supposed to do. I did. So I was never upset with my parents when I was getting in trouble, whatever like that. Yeah. But for a lot of these young ladies, and specifically her, you look at her face, you see her picture, you say, damn, that's a beautiful kid. Why did that happen? And then you find out her family knew who she was dating. Why did they let that happen? The same way we in the house and we watch our mother or father or siblings or husbands or wife sit there and slowly but surely drink themselves to death to where they have alcohol poison. And they say, well, you know, the family members say, well, his wife shouldn't let him drink like that. Get the fuck out of here. That stupid ass thinking. See, everybody want to identify people to attack, that they shouldn't let other people do something. It don't work that way in real life. Because why? He not killing himself that day with one drink. He killing himself over a period of years where he was the dominant person in the marriage or the relationship. He's killing himself, and you don't want to forget all those years the family thought it was cute when he was drinking. They used to enjoy drinking with him at the family gatherings and all of that shit. See? It ain't in an instance. It ain't instantaneously. It's gradually, it's slowly but surely. It's like I got a stomach right now. It's like I'm 7 months pregnant. You think my stomach got this big? Eating one meal? Eating too much one time? No! Gradual. It's almost like a pregnancy. I went through trimesters of too many calories and too many carbs and not exercising and bad diet choices and all of that. This shit is almost like a commitment to get this stomach. And I can reverse it, and I will. And it will require the same type of commitment, the same gradualness, the same over a period of time. So as this young girl, Celeste RIVAS, runs away, initially it's shocking. It's shocking to the family. Oh my God, she's 12 and she's run away. And everybody responds, the neighborhoods, the counselors, the teachers, the parents, the siblings, the friends. But then slowly but surely there's behavioral things taking place in the house with her and in the house, maybe with the parents, maybe. And then all of a sudden that tolerance, that enigma, that thing, that inertia, that motion, that momentum of issues with Rivas, or Celeste RIVAS in this case, or her having issues with her own family, it starts to increase. It just starts to increase. It goes up. And now people are responding and giving their input, but it's not as emphatic and as emotional. And where we used to lose sleep over her coming home late at night, we don't lose as much sleep, but we think about her. And then more time goes. And now the people who we used to stay up all night and wait for Celeste to try to find her. Now half of us in bed snoring, and there's one or two holding it down. And before you know it, if she not in the house by 9 o'clock, fuck it, man. I'm gone to bed. I'll let y'all tomorrow. See, that's the gradualness of it. Over a period of time. I'm just talking about what how it can happen. Because I know we wanna think it all happened all of a sudden. No. She was out there. She was in it. She was out there. She was in it. It was sad. They got her on camera running down the street. She did just like all of us did when we was ducking school. School bus pull up. Wasn't no school bus for me. School bus pull up. Instead of getting it, she run down the street when it pull off, maybe, to make it seem like she got on. Who knows? She was playing her games and what made sense, and But see, here's the other part that was so demanding and so sad for Celeste RIVAS. She was probably one of the youngest people in that group she was moving around with, because all the people that he was moving around with and the other people he was exposing her to, they was grown. They was out there already. They was really 19. They was really 23, 25. This guy flying around the country. This guy doing tours. He had shit booked in Australia and over here and over there and over there and all of the stuff. This guy's, he's living a young adult life. He's being exposed to things and ideas that Celeste is being fed. She's just jumping and reacting to. She's too immature. She can't figure it out. She's just going for the ride. This shit is maniacal. Is how do you say it? Maniacal. What's the word? I don't know the word. You know the word. It's crazy as a motherfucker. Crazy. And you got these adults, grown people. Oh, that don't make no sense. Look, you stupid ass, forgetful ass fucking adults. You kill me with that dumb ass shit. Everybody a genius now. Everybody a doctor and a scholar. And everybody want to forget when they was ignorant. Like I told my youngest daughter one time. She was explaining some shit to me, and I looked at her crazy, and I said, you know what? She says, what, Dad? You don't agree with me? I said, nah, let me say this. I used to be retarded too. She says, what you mean you used to be retarded? I used to sound just like you. I used to talk just like that. I was retarded just like you. And I wasn't on medication just like you. And I said, that shit gonna last for about 3 to 5 years. And I just hope you survive it. That's all. But where's the investigation now? Let me just jump back to my original thing. Homicide investigation for Celeste Rivas, 15-year-old, found dead, they said dismembered, in the trunk of David's Tesla. $104,000 Tesla that he wasn't even looking for. And it was 150 feet away from the crib. A young girl, whether he was together with her or not, she was still around in his circle. Close enough where somebody had access, if he didn't do it himself, had access to the keys to put her in there dead. You're not even going to show any concern. It's nothing. That's a hell of a thing, man. Anyway, it's your boy Talk Williams, host and creator Hip Hop 50. I'm gonna get ready to jump. I can't read the comments. I'll look at them later. I can't see the comments. I apologize. I can't say who a bot. I can't say who calling me name. I don't never mind when people talk about me. You can call me names. You can talk about the way I talk. You can talk about the way I look. I just don't like it when you do it to other people. So I want to apologize to everybody in the chat if people are saying things mean to you. I'm not upset with anybody that might be saying mean things about me, because it really doesn't bother me. In fact, I can tell you how my logic works. Here's how my logic works, right? If I'm the idiot or the funny looking guy or the non-speaking guy, whatever, however you do it with me, it's fine. That I am, what does that say about you? That you have time to do that with me. So that's why it can't upset me. It never does. I just want to apologize to other people in the chat because I'm not able to see I'm not reading the chats. And typically if I did, I would block people if they were attacking or being disrespectful for other people. But I'm gonna just hope that that's not the case. But again, it's sad. It's sad. It's sad that Celeste Rivas never got an opportunity to come out of that what they would call, trying to think of a name for it. She never got a chance to live. She never got a chance, because for her, it's just survival. It looks cute. It looks nice. She's she's a world away. She's a world away. And she's in this thing that's real to her. Maniacal. I was trying to think of that word, maniacal. And I might be using this wrong context when I was talking about it. And she didn't know, she didn't understand that as a 12, 13, 14, and 15-year-old female especially, that those traps was always there. See, when you see young people, kids, right? Because I used to be a kid. You thinking this is the shit. I'm with David. When you're 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, and you're around everybody that's 20 or better, all of those traps are there. You just don't see them. You don't think they're there. But all of those traps where the door shuts, and then 5 dudes just fuck the shit out you, and you wind up pregnant with disease, and you don't know who it's from. But your family done already disowned you. So now you already not wanted. You done burnt them bridges, and now you over here, what you thought was cool, and now you entered the dark side of that. It's fucked up. It's deafening. It's dark. The heart is crushed because whatever relief that child thought they found, escape from that reality of whatever might have happened over at home. Not saying something did, but typically you can trace shit. Most kids just aren't born bad as shit. It's something popping off a lot of times. And it's crazy. I used to tell my daughter, my youngest daughter, when somebody go to try to molest you, I used to tell her this when she was 9, because we weren't together. I said, it's not going to be a stranger. That's called rape. You know who it's going to be? She said, who, Daddy? One of your stepbrothers, your stepfather, that church your mother and all of y'all go to and y'all be there all fucking day. One of them pastors, one of the deacons. You know how you in school and you go to gym and all that shit, Shirley? Yeah, one of them people, one of them women, one of them women. Yeah, you know. Don't worry about the stranger at the corner. You already know how to react to the stranger. You cross the street, you go the other way, you scream and holler, you fight back. The challenge, the difficulty is going to be the people that the authorities in your family is telling you to trust, that's putting you in front of, putting you with. I used to tell her that shit. I said, that's where it happens at. I told her that shit for a couple years because I had to put in her. Stop worrying about the stranger. Pay attention to the one your mother dropped you off with. The ones your mother leave you at home with. That shit. Anyway, I'm gone for real. I got to call my daughter out here. Peace. I'm out.